Hi everybody, this is session 2 of TPMS. In this session we're going to cover how to update your password and also how to ensure that your staff details and content competency is correct. So first thing we need to do is we're going to log in. So as noted in the previous session, you should have been, if you've not been into your TPMS profile recently, and when I say recently, in the last couple of weeks, last month or so, you would have been sent an email with a new password on. So you need to enter that password and then go submit with your username. Your username is the same one that you normally use to log on. So, okay. You'll then come to a page that looks a little like this. I have a few additional accessibility permissions that you probably don't have, so you might not see some of these things. But the very first thing that you need to do is you need to change your password. So to do so is you hover over admin and go in and change your password. So you're going to go in here, put in the password that was forwarded to you and put in a new password and confirm that, and then go save. The thing that you need to remember with TPMS is the password is not updated. So if it is, make it something that's easy to remember for you, makes it simple. If you forget your password, don't worry, there's people out there who can help you. Di Robertson or Rhiannon Alford can also help you as well. Okay, I'm not going to change my password because I like my password the way it is. So what we're going to do is we'll go back to home so that you can actually see what you've got here. So you're going to hover over teacher profiles. You can either do that from the top or you can do it here from the left-hand navigation panel. So click on teacher profiles. Now you're actually going to modify a teacher profile. You're not going to create a teacher profile because that will have already been created for you. You need to modify. So you're going to click on modify. What you also need to do, because of the change of faculty structures, sometimes systems take a little bit longer to align. So I suggest, so that it's easy for you to find yourself, is to click on those three little boxes there. Now you'll actually see when you click on the down arrow, you'll actually only see you. I'll see everybody, so I just have to go through and find me. So let me do that. Here we are. So clicking on there, and then all you do is you just go submit. Really simple. So this will bring you to the first page, which is the staff details page. On this page here, all you need to do is just make sure that the details are correct. They should have already been filled out for you. Your payroll number, just make sure they're correct. You know, if you're a teacher, if you're permanent, part-time or fixed term or whatever, you don't need to really do anything here. It's just the cover page. I would suggest though that if it's all correct, just go down, click save. It'll ask you, do you want to? You go okay. And that will update. Okay, so next section we're going to look at, that first part was nice and simple, is the content competency. So you'll actually find this here on the left-hand navigation panel. What you need to remember is content competency is about what you are vocationally able to deliver or what you are currently delivering. So what is the vocational content that you're delivering if you're working in as you're working at TAFE Queensland South West. So we're going to go down here and work through this slowly. So qualifications held. This is relevant to the qualifications that you currently hold in relation to what you are delivering. It's not about what you would like to deliver, it's about what you are delivering. Why it's important to have what you are currently delivering is you also need to not only demonstrate that you've got a qualification, but also that you're current in that qualification. So if you've got something that's 20 years old, for example, and you're not maintaining your currency in it, the qualification itself means pretty much nothing. So I'm going to use the example here of hairdressing because, as many of you know, my original space when I first came to TAFE was as a trade teacher in hairdressing. So I'm just going to use this as an example for you. So you're going to enter your information into this space around content. So as you can see here, I have my trade qual in here and any qualification that was relevant to me while I was delivering this. So hairdressing, obviously, retail, my bits and pieces of other things that I've got here. What you will need to be aware of in this space here, unless you are a TAE teacher, you do not add TAE. So you can actually see I have actually added my TAE here. This should actually be in the assessment area, not in the content area. So instead of saying, oh my goodness, now I have to re-enter it, it's a really simple process of where you can just go copy. So if you hover over copy and you want to copy it to assessment, hover over that and it will automatically save it to here. So nice and simple, and you'll actually see, and it saves all the evidence as well, and you'll actually see we're now in the assessment competency. So always go back to the top and just make sure you know where you are. So yes, so just again reiterating that the only time that you should have TAE in this space is if you are delivering TAE. Okay, so just remember that. So to get that out, so we've copied it over, and then I'm actually just going to delete that. Important to remember though, if you delete it, it's gone forever. You can't get it back. So really, really important to remember. And I'll leave that one there for an example later if I have to do it again. The other thing that's really important that you remember as well is you need to have the evidence provided with these qualifications here. So you need to upload, really simple thing to do. So I'm just going to give you an example here. If you want to add a qualification, now I'm just going to obviously just click because I'm not a speed taper. So you just follow what's required in here. And if you want to add, or as you need to add some evidence to support that, you're actually going to go in here. I'm just going to click on anything for the minute, open, and then I'm going to save that. Okay, so if we scroll down, you'll actually see this has actually saved this into here, and it's actually uploaded the evidence. If I think, oh my goodness, I've missed a unit, and as you can see, it's important that you actually list all of the units of competency that are in there, because we know that in some qualifications you might have 4 core and 400 electives that you can choose from. So it's important that you list the ones that you have in here. So if you need to modify, really simple, just click on modify, and okay, you didn't put enough in, so you need to add a subject. It's just as simple as clicking on add a subject, and you'll see there on the side, so you can just go for it in here. Okay, so save. Excellent. Okay, so this is that was around the qualifications. With the training courses are in relation to non-accredited training, and non-accredited training, or to show currency in this space, probably 1 to 2 years, just depending on what it is, and you as the vocational expert would be able to give evidence of that, and I'll just give you some examples of this down here. Another thing that you need to think about as well is what is the evidence that you can provide for these things. So you should be providing some form of evidence. Now we all know that some training courses, some non-accredited training courses don't provide a piece of paper at the end of it. So it could just be an email confirmation that you're actually that you've actually attended that course, or that you're going to attend that course. It's also important that you put in details around what it was that you actually did in here. So I've expanded on some of these, and I can already see a mistake there. But yeah, just to give you some ideas. You might find, and I was just giving you the example before of, what is current or what is currency, or in this space for a training course. So just say, for example, here you'll see I've got something around a hair product, and it was around colour. If that colour, I did that back in 2014, say, if that colour was still something that we were using, then this could be deemed current. Okay, so there's not a simple rule to say that that course needs to be removed because it's so old. I mean, some of these definitely do, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But overall, it's fairly simple. Sort of, you're the one who needs to have a think, and also speak with your faculty director or educational team lead around whether that is demonstrating currency or not in your space. Remember, this is around the content that you're delivering, not around the educational part. Okay, if you've got some in here that are really old and you haven't put any details in, so you really don't know what they're about, really simple to remove, as we did before. So just click on, so I'm just going to remove this Fame Team one, really not relevant anymore, so we're just going to delete that. So go yes, okay. But remembering, once you delete, it's gone forever. You can't get it back, so make sure that's exactly what you want to delete. So working through here, look, I might sort of say some of these are just so far out of date now, I'm going to remove. But another example I could give you here is, say, with global keratin This is around keratin straightening. Might have been something that, or I can give you the example of when I was an apprentice, we didn't do thermal straightening as part of our trade qualification because it wasn't invented then. But now in salons, this is a fairly common practice. So I might demonstrate that I'm current, even though I don't hold that unit of competency. I've been to some non-accredited training and also am performing this in the salon at the moment. So that's how I would give evidence around this as to me being capable of delivering that unit. I could also RPL it if I wanted to, but I can demonstrate equivalence. So that is the training courses, remembering that they're non-accredited training. Licenses and tickets held, these are in relation to the content that you have. So are there any required licenses or tickets that you need to be able to deliver that content? So I'd be suggesting, things such as forklift tickets or civil mining or civil engineering tickets or metal fab tickets. If there's some that are relevant to that, that's where they would go in there. And then work history is the last one in the content competency space. You need to make sure that in this space here it is quite detailed. Reason being was the example I just gave you around thermal straightening. If you didn't do it as part of your trade qualification, if it's been something that's been introduced in the last so many years since you've become a qualified tradesperson or you've completed your training, you need to be able to demonstrate that you're actually doing it and you have the capability of delivering it. It is our responsibility as educators to ensure that we have the competency and currency to deliver current trends in our industry, so we need to make sure that we update those if we don't have it. So you can see in here, I've actually got that somewhere, that I've spoken about thermal straightening. So that in relation to the non-accredited training would be very good evidence to show that I am doing this in the salon and that I can also demonstrate, I can also deliver this in the space with my learners. So that's all the information on staff details and content competency. I'll follow up with session 3 and that will be on assessment competency. Thanks very much.